Said I'm ready to love. Listen, your girl Beans may not be ready to love, but I am here for the TV show Ready to Love. Welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Bean. I am your homegirl, Bean, and I'm your blissfully single one. So let's jump right on into this review. It was a good episode. It's still the beginning episodes where people are getting to know each other, so the claws haven't come out yet, but it was still good too, seeing these new connections that are about to be forged. Tommy meets with the ladies. It is the ladies' elimination week. And Tommy gives an assignment. The assignment is dig deeper. You can like somebody, you can think they cute, they got nice teeth, they got nice shoulders, they got a nice beard, but what's deeper? What has really framed the person's views on love and relationship? And Tommy is taking the girls to task to find this out from some of the guys that they may be feeling. I'm like, all right, ladies, you have been given an assignment. Do you accept this assignment? Let's do it. Joel and Varnisha date. And let me tell you something. It's only been 4 episodes, 3 episodes in at the point when I was watching this one. But Varnisha is gorgeous. She's just so beautiful. And I love the way she carries herself. She's just a natural beauty. So Varnisha clearly understands the assignment at hand. And she asks Joel about his single fatherhood, the loss of his wife, and really she wants to get to know how the loss of his wife really frames or really dictates how he approaches dating. Joel explains that losing his wife did not make him not want to love again. Joel has already been through the grieving process and he's ready. And judging by Varnisha is ready too. Now let me just pause and say this. Varnisha, I completely understand what you like about Joel. First, Joel, like yourself, has kids. And I always say this, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone, but if you're a young lady or a man and you have children, but you're looking to date someone without children, I think that's an unrealistic and a delusional way of approaching things. So I understand how here's this attractive man and he has children, just like I have children. It's an equal balance. You guys are evenly yoked because you guys are coming from the same stage in life. So I understand where that makes Joel very desirable to Varnisha. But at the same time, Varnisha, I just want to caution you. Date. Don't put your eggs all in that Joel basket. And I say this to say, Joel is one of the favorites on this show. So while I totally understand the connection, girl, you better play the field. So Alexis Fly Jones and Troy go out on a date. And this is really not a date. Because to me, Alexis Fly was simply there to check Troy and his trifling ass. Because apparently, Alexis and Troy had this connection. And I guess Alexis was Troy's number one. And Troy offered to take Alexis out of the country for her birthday. And I guess Alexis Fly put stock into it. But to me, in all being realistic, if I'm talking to a guy and 1 or 2 dates in, he wants to fly me out somewhere, yeah, no, you're full of shit. But apparently, Troy has been giving that yin yang, to all the other ladies, a couple of the other ladies, in this game. Talking about you my number one and I'm about to get you flued out somewhere. And Alexis Fly is not here for it. They both sit down to talk. Troy says, oh my God, Alexis is just looking so, I can't take my eyes off of her. And one thing about Troy, and I picked this up off of the dating special, Troy is very fake. He's disingenuous. I don't know what he came on this show for, but it's certainly not for love. I think it's for exposure, but not only has he failed to make true connections with anyone, but he just seems disengaged with the process, but putting on a show at the same time. So Alexis Fly is checking Troy. You've been kissing, you've been cheek kissing all the other ladies. You told somebody else she was number one. You said you're gonna flew somebody else out. You were supposed to be fluing me out, my G. What's going on? So she's checking him, and I understand. And there gets to a point where she says, listen, this is a dating game, and I understand that you have to date other people, which I was like, ding, 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 because that frustrates me when, we get into the situation and suddenly we're supposed to be exclusive when it's a game where you're supposed to be dating other people to figure out who you want to be ultimately exclusive with. So I got that. Yet and still, I don't like Alexis Fly. And I cannot put my finger on why she irks me. I'm watching it like, all right, Beans, listen. Do not dislike this woman or not want to root for her based on how others are seeing her, because I know with the last episode, I think she went out with AJ and she came on a little bit too strong. Like, don't judge her based on that. But there's just something about her. I don't know if it's team too much. I don't know if it's because she calls herself Alexis Fly and have yet to see the fly in Alexis. I don't know what it is, but she's checking him with good reason, but I don't like the energy that she's using because I don't like her. But anyway, judging by that little interaction, that date was clearly a fail. So Troy, at this point, I'm watching the show like, I'm worried for you, but if you were to be voted out, I really wouldn't care, to tell you the truth. Chris and Amber go on a date. Amber is their attorney. And I have to say, Amber is really pretty as well. She reminds me of this actress that used to be on Boston Public. It was a show about a high school set in Boston. It used to run on Fox, but I forgot what her name was. She was big for a minute. Like, I felt like I saw her everywhere, but now she suddenly disappeared. But Amber with those locks. Oh my God, that is your look. She is very pretty. But anyway, Chris and Amber go out on a date and they go boxing. Thank you. Listen, I try to keep up with my fitness. I'm trying to get back to the 125 pounds that I used to be in yesterday so I could appreciate a good workout. However, if I'm going out on a date, the last thing I want to do is sweat and box. So when I see her and Chris in the ring, I'm like, all right, child, if you like it, no, I'm not going to say I love it. No. A nice date is wine, good conversation, and something cute to do. Like the last episode, it was AJ and Alexis Fly. He took her candle making. You see, that's my shit right there. Like, you cool, you smelling nice candles, you drinking the wine. That's a cute date. But boxing or anything physical, no, miss me with that. Anyway, they're getting to know each other, and Amber reveals that she was adopted and she recently connected with her bio sister. And then Chris reveals that his dad has 11 children by 9 different women. When Chris said that, I said, Chris, your daddy either Haitian or African, and don't at me because y'all know it's true. Then Amber gets a little bit deeper and she drops it on Chris's lap I think Chris already knew she was an attorney, but then Amber goes further and says, I'm DA. So you know how they make the editing seem like Chris's face is like, and we're thinking, is there going to be a problem? But Chris is like, that's amazing. Chris is like, you are the total package. But I do understand at that moment, Amber being hesitant about telling Chris what she does for a living, because I remember I wanted to go into law years back. And I wanted to go into criminal law, and I wanted to be a prosecutor. And I remember telling some taxi man, I'd like to work for the side of the prosecution. And the taxi man goes, oh, so you're trying to send brothers to jail? I was like, oh, what? So I can kind of see where she's hesitant in letting people know that she's DA, because these people, they draw up all these notions, and, it's not a comfortable conversation to have with people. But it's really nice to see that Chris was accepting of it. And it seems like they're vibing. So we'll see where this is going. Stacy and David go out on a date. And it's Pilates. Another no thank you. Y'all kill me with these workout ass dates. How's it gonna be a date when you're working out? They talk. David is a Christian man. And David is a man of God. So David's end game is marriage. But then the conversation comes up about trust. And it gets kind of muddled because David feels as if I'm married to you, there should be a level of transparency where I should have access to your social media, your bank account, your last GYN visit, your most recent HIV status. He needs to know where the bodies are buried. So I get it, because I guess when you guys are married, you guys are one. But Stacey did not take it like that. Stacey said, there's trust and there's transparency. And she says you need a level of transparency to make a relationship work. But at the same time, as a woman, I value my privacy. I don't want you to have access to my social media and these things that are personal to me. So that broke up the vibe between those two. Stacey doesn't think he's for her because she needs her own space. And watching this scene, I had to think about it. I had to agree with Stacey. Listen, I'm not giving you a whole set of passwords for my stuff. It is my stuff. I don't want you snooping through my Instagram, my Facebook, my DMs, all that stuff. But at the same time, I understand David's point of view that if I need access, you should have no trouble giving it to me. So I'm 50-50 on this one. If you guys could drop down in a comment box and just give me an idea what you guys think about that conversation about trust and having your significant other's passwords and access to bank accounts and stuff. That was really interesting. I'm kind of on both of their sides on that one. Anyway, we have a group date with Jason, AJ, Alexis Fly, and Liz. Here we go. Please help me understand. Alexis Fly, I'm 4 episodes in now. Please help me to understand why the hell you use Fly as a moniker. I don't understand, Miss Alexis Fly Jones, because I grew up with a lot of fly girls and fly boys. And Alexis, I just don't see it. And this scene drives it home. I'm looking at Alexis Fly Jones like, what in the cowboy, frilly, over the heel boots is this? Her outfit was a complete fail. I did not get it. I did not understand it. It was not high fashion, and it was not Brooklyn fly. I don't get it. I don't get it. Not only was the outfit a mess, her hair, her wigs don't be popping like that. So I'm trying to understand where the fly part comes from Fly Jones. Blue, my girl, I see you. One of my followers, Miss Blue, said, girl, there ain't nothing fly about no Alexis Fly. Girl, I had to agree with you in this outfit rent. Girl, what? Anyway, they go on this nice group date. At first, all of them are together playing some skee ball or something. It was really cute. Again, it wasn't a hard workout, but it was a cute game for the 4 of them. Liz is very competitive. That was cute or whatever. And then the couples branch off to get to know each other. Alexis Fly... Girl, Alexis and Jason talk. Jason mentioned that he's having trouble seeing Alexis as a companion because he sees her as a mom to someone on his team. So he hasn't made that romantic link yet. You know, Alexis Fly is talking his ear off, bordering on the inappropriate, talking about her time of the month, which, girl, what was your point? Was it when it's your time of the month, you trying to shag? Why does Alexis lead with sex like that? I'm like, yeah, all right, girl. I mean, I guess. But anyway, Alexis's thing with this date is that Jason is just stiff. He sat so far away from me and he just doesn't want to loosen up. Alexis, his body language is telling me he's not really feeling you like that. He didn't sit close to you. That comment he made about seeing you more as a parent and not as a romantic partner or potential romantic partner. I'm like, girl, he ain't into you like that. But she does say, he's still one of my tops. Girl, how is he one of your tops when there's no reciprocity? Girl, I guess. AJ and Liz branch off to have a conversation. And I have to say, before I go any further, I know I've been given AJ the business as far as his occupation and the fact that he went on a date and wasn't able to pay. But all that set aside, that chocolate, ooh, that chocolate look good. He's a fine little chocolate drop. Hey, AJ. Hey. But anyway, AJ and Liz have a conversation. And Liz asks a question that every time it's asked, like again, Liz showed me she understood the assignment this episode because she's digging deeper with guys that she's interested in. But the question, do you believe in sex before marriage? This question irks me. What the hell do you believe? What do you mean? What are your thoughts on sex before marriage? We do it. Like, we're in our 40s, we're in our 30s. Most people have sex before they're married. So that question always aggravates the life out of me because I feel like if you believe in abstinence before marriage, then you need to go to a setting where there are people who are like-minded like you. Meaning, Liz, if you want someone who believes that they should be abstinent until marriage, perhaps you should go to church to find that someone. This show is really not the platform for abstinence before marriage. To Liz's credit, she did ask AJ the question for the clarity, but the question irks me because we're grown. Most people are not waiting for marriage to have sex, and that's the reality of the situation. And this is coming from a girl who was born and raised in church in a conservative family. I'm not waiting for marriage to have sex. It's what it is. Ooh, my quiche. AJ was honest with Liz, and I appreciated his honesty, and I appreciate, how he handled answering that question. He says, look, can I be honest? Can I say what I need to say? She said, all right, I'm not going to fault you. You can be honest, shorty. You can be honest. And AJ said, listen, I'd rather know if we're sexually compatible sooner rather than later. So no, I'm not into the whole abstinence thing. I don't want to be in a situation when I'm married and I realize that in bed we're just not in tune. And I'm like, AJ, Bragi. Ron opens up about his time in jail. And Ron and Chrysanthemum have a very nice exchange. But let me tell you something about this. When Chrysanthemum says that she just wants someone to lead, to be the provider and just to allow her to relax and not have to take care of anything, I felt it. I felt it deep in my soul. I felt it because as much as I'm building a brand off of being a single mother, and the reason why I'm building my brand off of this is because being single as at most peace as I've had in years. And I can't see myself giving up that peace for anybody. But I'd be completely lying if I said I didn't wish that I did have that happily ever after. That I was married to a husband. He took care of the bills. He led. He made decisions. And all I had to do was be submissive and just chill. Like, I'd be lying because I have always looked after myself. To be in that space, when Chrysanthemum said that, I said, oh yes, girl, I'm feeling it. And Ron said, that's easy. Protecting and providing is what men are supposed to do. I said, oh, Ron. Chrysanthemum, don't let that one go. Explore it, girl. Because I'm looking at Ron like, yes, you're giving me vibes. You're giving me fever. All right, Ron and Chris, let's see where this goes. But it was a very good exchange. The energy were there and they were balanced in their views as far as what a relationship is supposed to look like. Yes. Yes. Liz and David date. And just on a side note, doesn't Liz look like Stormy from season 1? Every time I see her, I think about DJ Stormy. I follow her on Instagram. She a fly DJ. But anyway, Liz and David seem suited for each other. I mean, they both love the Lord. Like their spirituality is something that really grounds them. Not grounds them. It's really the core of their being, their relationship with Christ. At higher callings and all that jazz. So I really see Liz and Dave as an ideal match. But again, Liz understood the assignment. So she digs deeper into David, and David opens up about his upbringing. David's upbringing was very similar to mine. Like he said, his friends would call the house and his mom would answer, "Hello and praise the Lord." And that's like me and my friends who went to church. Like that's our upbringing. So when we got to a point when we went to college, and I'm not going to say we, to all my Remsonites who grew up with me in my eras in the 40s, but I will say as for my experience, when I went away to college, like I don't want to say, yes, I'm going to say I forgot God. I forgot God. I felt like I didn't need it. I was on my own, or him. I felt like I was on my own, like, you know, I couldn't do me in like this church. I became an atheist for a hot second. You know what I mean? And David shares that was his experience when he was on his own. But child, let me tell you something. Much like the prodigal son, when life begins kicking your ass, you find yourself at God's throne of grace. So that, trust me, that's a mistake I will never make again, Lord. So David goes on to talk about his 2 marriages, and he says, you know, he's ready to love. He's ready to love, and his biggest thing is David wants someone who doesn't leave. The thing is, David, that doesn't exist. No matter who you end up with, there's a possibility that person will leave. So for David to say that was very alarming to me, because I feel like there's some work that David has to do within himself before he's ready to love. Because if you're a healthy person and you're a whole person, in my opinion, who is ready to love, the person who's going to be with you doesn't complete you. They're an addition to your whole self. So if that person is an addition to your whole self, if something happens and that person leaves, you don't have part of yourself. You still have your whole self and you'll still be fine. So David saying, I want someone who doesn't leave, David is still vulnerable. And I'm here for the entertainment, but I'm looking at David like, yeah, there's some work that needs to be done there. Tommy brings all the ladies together. It's decision time. And Troy is on the chopping block. The girls unanimously agree. Troy's been talking that yang, yang, yang to every damn body. And yeah, he just comes off as fake, phony, you're a fraud. Shout out to DJ Duffy. So David's name also comes up. Stacy was the one that threw David's name into the mix. And Stacy says, well, he wants passwords for your bank account. He wants passwords for your social media. He wants like bank statements. He wants everything, like your last GYN visit. Like, you know, when was the last time you had an STD? Like, and I'm like, Stacy, in this moment, I think you're doing a little bit much. I don't think he meant it like that. There's a difference between give me a list of your passwords and I need to log into your Facebook in case there's some kind of emergency. You can't do it to tell your Facebook followers you're being in a car accident and you're missing an eye. You know what I mean? So I think Stacey was doing a little bit too much, number one. And number two, it's not as if David wasn't making other connections. David connected with Liz. So I don't think your issue is David not being ready to love. Is that you and him don't see eye to eye on something. And that shouldn't be the basis of David being, you know, let go. You know, so Stacey, I still like you. You still cute or whatever, but I think you were just a little bit whack for that. A little bit whack for that. Anyway, Troy goes home. And Troy needed to go home because, yeah, like I said, I don't know what he was here for, but finding love was not it. Bye-bye, Troy. Hopefully karma will hit you in your ass and you will fall in love with the thick-ass chick with a big ass. Although God would not bless you in that way because you're not worthy. And that's that on that. Thank you for tuning into my review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, especially Twitter, because I'll be more talking mad smack about these reality shows. So please follow me on my social media networks. And I'm going to leave some links down for my blog, blissfullySingleBeing.com. Pop in, get a nice recipe. See how my last trip to Atlanta went, child. I cannot wait to move. But please follow me. Please help a sister grow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if the video appeals to you, I would not mind a share. You guys have a fabulous weekend. Until next review. And next week's episode looks like it's going to be good. It's going to be a masquerade ball. So it seems like a whole bunch of lunacy going on over there. All right, guys. I will catch you later. Peace out, fly boys and fly girls.